Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have two heavy bowgun spread builds to share with you, but not just any spread builds. The difference with these builds is that they take advantage of Xanagar's essence to get maximum latent power secret, while Activate grants us a hefty 60% affinity for free, which essentially is the best single-handed skill in the game that gives us more than half the affinity we need in order to reach 100% affinity. So I thought, why not incorporate it with spread heavy bowguns and see just how far we can break this skill. Now let's check out the sets. Both builds are made up of the same pieces, with the only change being the interchangeable decorations and setups for a hunt. First we have the completely offensive set with 3-piece Safi, chest, arms, and legs with 2-piece Stygian Xanagar helmet and waist. The gun had been modded with spread capacity level 3, 2 level 5 attack mods, a recoil suppressor and a Xanagar essence to make up the third piece of armor for our latent power secret with the max close range mods and a scope. But feel free to change it to a wyvern heart mod if special scope isn't quite your thing. Next we have the more casual defensive setup with the same armor pieces, the gun augmented the same way as well, but with 3 shield mods and 2 close range mods, and as you can see you don't lose much stat wise for guard 3, just 1 level of attack, which as I said before, replicating these builds will entirely depend on your decorations on hand, but at the core the builds are pretty much the same. So since the latent power will be giving us the 60% affinity to reach the cap, that just leaves 40% affinity to fill in the rest, so we augment the gun for 1 affinity augment, then the gun's natural 5% affinity makes it 15, and then attack 4 gives us another 5%, and then finally the Safi armor gives us the remaining 20% affinity needed. Okay, now let's get into the mechanics of the build. The thought process is by activating latent power you avoid the need of having to stop and tenderize, since that's what Iceborne forces us to do, which tenderizing is still unavoidable. For better hit zone values, this build makes it so it's not entirely necessary. Now that we have that out of the way, the premise of the build is to activate latent power as fast as possible, and the way we do that is through Wyvern Heart, coupled with the Safi armor's inflicted damage to your hunter. Sometimes it varies and the Wyvern Heart is all you need to trigger it, but just in case it doesn't, just shoot spread once and it should activate, after which your extra affinity kicks in for about 2 minutes, which for most people is enough time for a hunt solo. But if not, the Wyvern Heart recharge time ranges from 2 minutes 15 to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so the time in which you can activate latent power again through this tactic gets very well timed and brings everything together in order to make the build viable. If you don't want to rely on Wyvern Heart, which I do recommend, you can also just use roughly 3.5 spread rounds to trigger the skill, which is a little slower, but you'll still be able to have better control over how and when the skill activates. And there you have it, those are my latest spread heavy bowgun builds for you guys. I hope you enjoy. There will be a hunt at the end showcasing how the build works, but if you enjoyed, please feel free to share the video. But until next time, my Monster Hunter fam, stay classy and remember to hunt with style.